Hello YouTube, this is Captain Nav. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to another episode of my simming adventures. Today we are in the New York area. Nice view of Manhattan in the background. And we are going to fly the Canarsie approach into JFK airport. So without further ado, we'll jump in the flight deck and we'll have a look on how to set up the approach. So first of all, I will go into departure arrival and find the VOR 13 left, assault interception. I'll set 180 knots, 3000 feet or above at assault. Then at Canarsie, I will set 170 knots and 1500 feet or above. That's it. And then check everything makes sense. At Deer Park, Delta Papa Kilo, we'll set a hard altitude of 4000 feet. Once this is done, we can actually change the intercept course 045 and execute. I got this message, but we can disregard it, it's okay. Then after that, we can go to the fix page, enter runway 13 left, and we want to extend the runway center line, so we'll put the reciprocal track 315. And the next thing I want to do is pick up this waypoint here and set it in the second fix page, and I'll want to leave that waypoint on the track of 060 and start the descent 1 mile after it, as you'll see later on during the approach. The VRF is set 138 with flaps 30, and the descent page is set up. We've got the minima set, and we are good to go. So we'll start the approach at 8000 feet and descending initially towards 5000 feet flight level change. And we are just basically, as you can see on the ND, over pretty much the airport at the moment, and we're gonna fly towards the southwest to pick up some kind of downwind for the final approach track, and then continue with the approach. So as I position the aircraft for the approach, I'll go through a little bit how I think the approach can be flown. Basically, it's initially, of course, it's an instrument approach, a VOR approach, and once we get to the Delta Mike Yankee Hotel Lima waypoint, then we actually level off a little bit at 800 feet, which is the minima, acquire the visual profile, and as I put in the fixed page, about 1 mile after Delta Mike Yankee Hotel Lima waypoint, then we can intercept the visual path towards runway 13 left. If you don't level off at the Delta Mike Yankee Hotel Lima waypoint, then the descent angle to the runway is very shallow, and it would actually make it more difficult to fly the approach because of that shallow angle. And you wouldn't really pick the VASI system very well, so it's better to level off for about a mile and then be on the 2.8 degree descent angle and fly the approach that way, and try to keep the descent constant instead of having that shallow angle all the way down. As I've already mentioned, the second part of the approach is a visual approach, and in real you would follow a couple of landmarks and lights to guide you in. However, in the simulator, these landmarks and visual aids don't really appear. However, with the ORBX global scenery, you can kind of make out where the highway and the racetrack and hotel are, so you can kind of see where you are going a little bit, which is good. Anyway, you'll see that later on during the final part of the approach. We are now getting close to assault, or at least a beam assault. So we'll concentrate a little bit on the flying, and we're still a little bit high, so we'll go for flap 1 and reduce the speed to 100 knots. It's actually amazing to think that in such a busy airspace and environment, such an approach can still be flown. Yeah, you would think that for ATC separation it would be a nightmare, because the approach cannot be flown the same way as an ILS, so for the pilots it's quite difficult. Anyway, we'll further reduce the speed, flap 5 and 180 knots. And we'll start turning towards assault, take some kind of wide base leg. The wind is coming from the left, so it's gonna push us through the turn. So we got to keep that in mind, otherwise we're gonna seriously overshoot. And VNAV, and open the speed window straight away. We have VNAV speed and hold. So as we are continuing the descent, we're gonna intercept the VNAV path, and then the automation will take care of the descent. So you can see the VNAV path indicator is coming back towards the center, and VNAV path is now enunciated along with speed. So we are giving ourselves about 30-degree intercept, and just waiting a little bit more before engaging LNAV. And their nav is engaged now. All we have to do, it's as we are getting close to assault, is to reset the MDA and the altitude window. So we'll set 800 feet now, and make sure we've got VNAV path enunciated in the FMA, and speed intervention with the speed window open. We have 180. I'll set the track 045 just for indication, and as you can see, we are continuing the descent, and as we approach assault, then we'll go all the way down to 800 feet. So we go for flap 15 and reduce the speed 160. So we can see the airport now, and we are going to fly along Jamaica Bay over Canarsie and land on runway 13 left, of course. So for the moment, all good. We are approaching Canarsie. Canarsie is the final approach fix, so we'll try to be all configured by then. So in order to be configured by Canarsie, we're gonna start configuring the aircraft for landing. So we'll go for the gear first, about 2500 feet, and then the rest of the configuration. We'll use the flight path vector. I'll go gear down now, flap 20, arm the speed brake, and display the landing checklist. You'll notice it always takes more time for the gear to come down than flaps 20. The gear is down now. We can soon go to flap 30, and then set the final approach speed, which is VRF plus 5, so that would be 143. We go flap 30 now and set the speed 143. So this will be our final approach speed. So you can see that we're still quite far out, so I was mentioning speed for ATC and separation, because you've got to reduce the speed so early on the approach. It's probably quite difficult for ATC to slot everybody in. I guess that's why they try to use other runways. Anyway, we can now set 4,000 feet the missed approach altitude. I'll preset track 060, which will be the track I'll fly when leaving Delta Mike Yankee Hotel Lima. So when we reach 900 feet, I'll press Alt Hold, and the aircraft should level off by about 800 feet. We'll try to come back up, you'll see in a few seconds, but we'll then try to level off. So let's have a look. Approaching 1,000 feet and starting the turn in LAV, so I'll confirm that with track select now. It's gonna pick up track 060, preparing for Alt Hold. Here we are. Alt, just levels off about 800 feet, and now we can engage track hold, reset runway track 135. Here we are, and then we'll disconnect the autopilot, then flight directors off and first officers back on. We've got a slight rate of descent, which is good. We've got track hold, vertical speed. We can see that building under the nose. It's a good landmark to start the turn, and then pick up the highway, and then the hotel there we can see. So we are all looking good, and now the airport comes inside, and you can use the navigation display as well for the turn. And yeah, kind of flying a little bit along the highway to pick up the extended runway centerline. We've got a building there as well, more or less on the centerline, so we can aim for it and align the aircraft. Try to keep constant rate of descent. Visually it looks a little bit strange due to three factors. The first one is having the VASI system instead of a PAPI. Then the VASI is calibrated at 2.8 degrees, so the descent angle is a little bit more shallow. And finally there is quite a significant displaced threshold. So it is quite hard to fly the final bit, but we'll try our best. And like always, try to cross the threshold about 50 feet. Pick up the center line and flare and touchdown. So here we are in New York JFK airport. Runway 13 left, and that was the Canarsie approach. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like always found it useful and informative. And if you did like the video, then you can give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content, then please subscribe. Thank you very much. In the meantime, I'll leave you like always on these approach videos with a nice replay and some music. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.